Hey, welcome back, everyone. So, as you can see, we're going to be continuing where we left off last. I'm pretty sure we're towards the end of their little, roundabout info gathering. That's what I mean. But that last video, I felt like it was getting a little too long, so I just needed to stop. I try to keep these videos down to like an hour. But without further ado, let's go ahead and continue with our search. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right. I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. Oh, so he sees himself an outlaw. That's interesting. Yeah, I think we're actually done with this area, other than the little bit of information you want to talk about. Let's see. How'd it go? I went to visit Michio Yusirashi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door and all the lights were out. It seemed to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Yeah. Social connections run deep into working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out that Shirashi's reputation really went down the dump this past year. Oh, what'd they do? Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first, they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Sankichiro Iwa. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow, everyone knew his name. So what? What of this Iwa character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him not to hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shirashi standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. Well, that's stupid. That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwa, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwa hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shirashis entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems that they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. He was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Oh, yeah, he does look like he abused people. Unemployed. Yep, that'll definitely explain that. The common-law husband of Michio Shirashi's mother, Toshiko Shirashi. Son Kichiro started coming and going from the Shirashi household a little over a year ago. It seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. Is this our murderer? The Shirashis were dealt a tough hand. I can't imagine what it was like. Could it be the girl was forced by her circumstances to take part in the kidnapping? But the Shirashi certainly hadn't lucked out with theirs, bringing such a violent man into it. Okay. Is there nothing else I could do? It's a bit quiet over here. It is a residential area after all. All these rundown row houses really scream working class, don't they? I guess. Alright. Well, let's go back to the soap plant. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Warigesu Street. Alright. I'm going to go in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay. Good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How'd it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night. But it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However, you said your name was Richard, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the cursed stone in your possession. Cursed stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You're a curse bearer, no? You're right, we like time. I'll confess, I'm a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. Hey, that's kind of funny. It is prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So, you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Sugen Gamyoro who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. You understand the urgency of this matter? These are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, guess how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. 6? Whoa, I can rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now. Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to. But I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. These two are definitely two sides of a coin. And that's how it went. So, I'm already after the right after all. I wouldn't be so quick to trust them. I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. You seem rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Heihaku are the main masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Hitomi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the culture more than ever before. If word spreads that Heihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. How interesting that the Queen of Heihaku, or the witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what is or isn't true, we must stay one step ahead. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Heihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation though. Despite that, I reason to believe Heihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the 7 mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. We should avoid Heihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Well, I guess we're done with this area. We're here. This is Meadow Rico Park. Alright. Is that a ghost? It looks like it goes right there. But then again, that's just how they draw the background characters. Alright, doesn't look like there's much we can do here. It's always heartwarming to see children playing in the park. Richard seems to like kids, perhaps because they're on the same wavelength. Did she just call him childish? What a waste of time. We should move on quickly. Okay, so really nothing there. Ooh, crap. It's gonna take me a minute to figure out where we're gonna be going. They're all dressed up for school. In another world, I might have had the chance to see my son in uniform too. Well, I doubt anyone's still living there. Hmm? Oh, so you came here too? Huh? What is it? Is it detectives? Hey, we finally got to, meet one another. Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richard? Oh, I guess that's it for this one. Alright. I guess we're gonna have to do it from his point of view, I guess. Whew. Okay, so apparently it's very important for you to not only make the right decisions to keep the storyline going, you also have to make sure that whenever it gives you an option to choose where you want your character to go next, just before you exit out and continue to someone else's storyline, you have to make sure 100% that they're going to be in the right exact spot that you need. Like in this case, we got Ariel and Tatsumi, and I also have to have Mio and Yako in the same spot just so I can continue the story. And it took me a half an hour trying to figure this out. So please appreciate all the work I do and keeping you guys from having to deal with all that as I'm trying to deal with it. And if it sounds like I'm frustrated at the moment, yes I am quite frustrated at this point. Either way, let's just continue. No more ranting. Let's just enjoy. Alright, see? There they are. They're right there to help me now. We can continue the storyline. Okay, that's it. That's enough. Huh? That's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Come on, Ariel. Huh? What? Hey, aren't you... You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. Say that again? Sorry about that. He's with me. Mr. Susumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my working conditions. So they do know each other. I'd prefer not to work for free, but to be honest, don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Ooh, yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We got ourselves a deal, right, boss? The girls are at our service. Oh, hold on now. What just happened? I never said I... Sushi? Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You guys are funny. You should do stand-up. Yeah, they make a good duo. It's usually easier to let Iria do the talking when it comes to young people, but they only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case? Yep, real random. So, how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the powers of curses, then brought forth the seven mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul drakes for the rite of resurrection. At least, that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the ones I got first. The Evergreen Beach. You got 3 already? Wow. We have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me. Yako, the girl standing behind Mio. He does? Is she alright? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the full possession with you two then. Oh good, at least we don't have to worry about, just taking care of them in the future. Hopefully. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other curse bearers? Have you run into any of them? Well, last night at school. You were here at last night? Yes. You see, there's a creepy teacher, and he was doing something, so we had to stop him. Well, actually, it started off with that Ouija board thing. Huh? You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool. So that's when you ran into the curse echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter. Somehow, we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The curse echo we saw took the shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg. What? A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's... What was that one? I want to get this right. I've been getting it wrong the last 2. Let me see. Give me a sec. Alright, so one... Oh, crap. I already forgot what it was. Okay. My ADHD kicked in. You know, like whenever we walk in through a door, trying to look for something or do something, and then as soon as we pass the threshold, our memory is just wiped. That's exactly what just happened, but in game form. So, that's a little embarrassing. But it's the one-sided read. The one-sided read. This is bad. Huh? What's so bad about that one? You idiot! Think! The curse bearer of the one-sided read is... Here he is, Najima. Umechika Najima! He admitted himself. That's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the case... Najima might have been here last night. What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? Who's Najima? No clue. So, Najima's trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes. Huh? He said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today. And he's trying to get to your daughter too? That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, his information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Genoichi, and one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget old man Ashimiya. Wait, Hitomi? Do you mean Hitomi Okuda? Second year student? Well yes, why? Boss, so she was here last night. I saw Hitomi earlier, though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes. Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about that police officer, Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Hitomi say something about him? Yeah, she did, actually. Yeah. This stuff is getting real interesting. If we're talking about people who were at school last night, there was one more person. Though I'm not too clear on the details. There was someone else? Apparently Hitomi actually saw Mr. Genoichi getting cursed and killed last night. Wait, what? Talk about some vital information. What she said happened was Michio was the one who killed Mr. Genoichi? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. That must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Genoichi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it's Michio or not. Damn, boss. Do you think it really could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reason to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Najima was behind Junichi's death. But what about Hitomi's story? About this janitor, Ashimiya, was it? How old is he? You know how long he's been working here? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I only just transferred to this school though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks. I think we're starting to get a better picture of all this. Huh? Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What are you? No way. Ariel, have the officers apprehended the janitor? He worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. Yes, right away. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they'd been looking to question Ashimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere. No. That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya? The old man seriously hating getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it. Uriel, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah. How could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that? To think he was so close to us this whole time. Ugh. Gives me the chills. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at a high school. Let's hope it isn't already too late. Oh, I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night. What? I don't like this one bit. Najima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bears, but I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then, could it have been Old Man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him that you were still there in the building too. What? You did? Yikes, good thing I didn't say anything. You might have gotten very lucky there, kid. I mean, after what I saw last time when I was playing these two, yeah, it looks like he is the killer. This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us. Ooh, that was a lot to read through just to cover him. We put a stop to the Feast of Shadows. It would help if I knew more about how the curses of the 7 mysteries came about. In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy. You mean Mr. Arashi? I would very much like to talk to him. Oh, right. He's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. Do you know where he is? I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers. The cafe? Oh, Kurikiyo Cafe in Kamizawa. Thanks. We'll head over there now. School rule says we're not allowed to go to cafes though. Don't worry about it, I'll allow it. Thank you. Huh? That's all it takes? There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all this for a reason. I want to find out why. Hitomi did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something. He did? What was it? A charm? Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes. Apparently he also asked her to look out for another one just like it. One that Michio had. What kind of talismans could they be, boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, it must have been pretty important. Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about this talisman. I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not at all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit weary of us. Well then. You think she talked to Yoshimi's fiance? Haven't they met before? Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. Alright, then we better find her fast. You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying. Mayu Chozozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her. Okay. I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh, right. One more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nagagoshi from the police headquarters. What? That was a Nagagoshi case. Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Could you check on that? I will, but, well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes, Nagagoshi's the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists, or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All of Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as Nagagoshi cases. Jeez, what's up with that? So that must mean that Irio was the only one that was left out of the loop. Poor Irio. That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery. Alright, so I guess that we exhausted all hers. And now to Yako. What was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ariel. Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. By re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide. What? A van? Speeding? Yako? What's wrong? Are you okay? A van. There's a young man in the driver's seat. Yako? Why did you skip over? I was still reading that. Did she just get slapped? Huh? Yes. Wait, was I? Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah. I'm okay. I think. Sorry. I went a little crazy there. It's no problem. As long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though. Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics if you're wondering about that. I don't know what it was truly on Michio's mind either. Right. Do you have any idea why Junichi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but... I see. Well, I have expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Michio, what happened? Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but there were too many onlookers outside for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene too. Okay. Well, now what? What's that rope all about? It indicates where Junichi's body was found. They moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see how his arm and legs are all... ugh. Cool it, Ariel. You're scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently. My bad. Alright, that's enough, Mio. What do you think? I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right. Traces of a curse still linger here. I figured as much. Does that mean Junichi was killed by one of the curses of the 7 mysteries? Yes. A strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It's just comes with experience, I guess. No? I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop it, Mr. Susumi. He's going to get the wrong idea. Whoa, that's amazing, Mio. You're a professional. You think? Totally. You're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome. When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. Hey, boss. Forensic is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance away from the scene. What is that? Oh, ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's the ribbon that Michio always used to wear. What? Doesn't that mean Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers. Then, did she come back to life somehow? But how? No, my guess is he just had it in his pocket. You know, maybe as a trophy. Okay, so the only one that doesn't have a check mark at this point is her. Let's see, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Junuichi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about that guy who killed her in the collision? If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start our research for Nejima and Mayu's Chozawa. It might be worth it to check Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the officers hanging around here. Got it. Thank you, and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Arashi about a way to lift his curse. Alright, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready. Alright, and we got our music going for us. Yeah! Ooh, finally! I did mention I've been spending a good chunk of my time trying to get myself to these stories. I'm gonna leave it off here for now, though. And so until then, take care, you guys, and I will see you in the next one, okay? And be careful. It's a dangerous world out there, and you don't want to be cursed. Bye-bye.